So I just spent like 3 hours complaining on the internet to chat people. You know, you go online, you talk to someone, and it's like, hello, my blah, blah, blah didn't come in, or my ding dong is awful, and your products are terrible, and I hate you. This is like a component of realizing that this distance between like, talking to an actual customer service person and yourself being over here, it's different and it shouldn't be. But I find that I can be really negative and rude to people on the internet that I don't like see as a person. Because backing up, talking to ChatGPT has made me a worse person. I am mean to it often. If there is an robot overtaking of society, I will be the first to die, because I essentially just beat it with a whip and it's like, this isn't what I asked you to do. Why did you tell me this? This is the worst thing possible. This doesn't even make sense. You have tried to gaslight me, computer. However, that has translated to me feeling like I am less kind to people in the general customer support world, which is fine-ish if they're actually, maybe just being short with someone and saying, just being clear with your expectations instead of trying to like being overly kind and conciliatory. Like, sure, you can't be like 100% wonderfully nice to everybody, but I don't really think it's healthy to be in a position where you're talking to someone who barely speaks English and you're being moderately more and more increasingly frustrated with them. And then I think they are frustrated with you too, because they have a harder time understanding what you're going to need through text, and you don't have this like general, like, I can see your body language, I can generally tell what's going on based on how you're reacting to me physically. Going through a text system, it's just harder for both of us, and you're usually not nice to me, I'm probably not usually nice to you, and then we both start to dislike each other before we've even actually had a real interaction, because the past 16 people you've talked to are probably annoying, the past 16 customer service reps I've talked to are probably annoying, and then the 17th person that we both, collide into this unpleasant just battle of, I want you to fix my problem, you don't know what my problem is, and we hate each other, and it's awful. What does that have to do with anything that I'm saying? So I think self-sacrifice is a virtue, and I think that means that you should be nice to people who suck. And do I think customer service reps suck? Kind of. Not always because it's their fault, it's just, I think it's a system built to suck. And that puts you in a position where you're going to not get what is justly yours. You have a right to something, you've been wronged in something, and you're trying to make it right, and that's why you're suffering through communicating with somebody on the internet who has no idea about you or what your problem is. And then when you talk to this person, you are not really sure of how they're going to even address you. Do they think that you're trying to be manipulative? Do they think that you're trying to be like going to steal from the company or something? Because you get all weird things that come through the like customer service line, right? And I can't control the kind of people that come through this system that the customer service rep has interacted with, but I can control who I am. And these little interactions through, like I was talking about at the beginning with ChatGPT, this is a machine that has no feelings and deserves to feel bad, but me making it feel bad, in theory, it does more harm to me than it does to equalize the greater universe justice system that I'm trying to fix by telling it it's stupid. And when I get mad at a customer service agent for not communicating well, or not being considerate of my time, or not listening to me, I do more damage to myself by allowing me to give in to attacking this weakness in their behavior or their employment or their what they're supposed to do for me. And the reason why I decided to like just hit record and start rambling was because I didn't like how I felt after having a bad interaction with like customer service agent. And to be more clear, I had like no reason to be upset other than just I wasn't being treated like a person. I was in a situation where I spoke to this person about a like payment system on my Apple Card that wasn't working correctly, and they were like, well, now we need to verify that you're you. And they asked me a whole bunch of questions, and I answered for about 15 minutes, and they're like, great, now we have enough information to call you later today to verify you're you. And I'm like, why did you do that then? Why didn't you just call me and then verify? Why do you have to ask me all these questions to verify that you can verify to call me? And I was upset, and I expressed that I was upset, and the person was then being nitpicky, saying that, you know, like, well, we have regulations in our system that we have to follow, and it's like, I don't care about your regulations. This is still annoying to me. And I realized that engaging in this interaction where I'm getting upset and they're getting upset, like, who cares if I come out on the high ground in this? Who cares if I'm right or whatever? It hurts everyone involved to try and be the arbiter of social justice in this scenario where you're not being taken care of, or a customer service rep isn't doing what they're doing. And I think this system of self-sacrifice is true of probably every interaction you're going to have. Because so backing up from working, I'm an attorney, and I'm also in medical school. So I've been in a position as a lawyer where I have forced people to make things right. I have forced people to pay money when they weren't doing it. I forced people to admit that they were wrong when they didn't want to. And that feels good in a way. It makes you feel better to get the money and say, yeah, I showed them. But it doesn't stop with that person. You start to get inflamed with the next scenario that you've been done an injustice in. You've been put in a position where you now start to look for problems in a way that's like unhealthy. And does that mean that you should always let people walk all over you, turn the other cheek or whatever? No. I don't think you should always let injustice just happen. But I do think the ability to sacrifice for the good of others, just as a mercy to them in these social situations, will make you a nicer person to be around. You'll be happier in your life, and you won't attack people for the slightest inconveniences, which is kind of what makes someone toxic, I think. And I'm worried that in my progression down making sure justice has happened, you know, you fixed my problem, you caused the problem in the first place, it's your job to fix it. Me being the arbiter of justice hasn't put me in a position where I feel better, even if I get what I want. So that's my general thought, is that it is not only something that you should strive for to try and be nice and forgiving and merciful to others, but you should think about what this does for yourself to be that kind of person. Because I notice that I have better interactions, more vulnerable interactions, more cheerful interactions. People like to be around me more when I'm less vindicative. And I don't know if the juice is worth the squeeze to get some modicum of justice out of these like minor interactions. And in an attempt to further my personal growth, I'm deciding as we are making this video to make more of a commitment to forgive idiots for being stupid, to allow people to make mistakes, and to understand that I'm the one who sometimes is in the wrong, and I sometimes make these mistakes as well. Does that mean I'll let people walk all over me? No. Does that mean I'll let other people get hurt and not protect them? No. But I will try to not tell the Apple service people that they're stupid as often. Yeah. Alright, well, that's the general thought of the day. Thanks for watching. This is a very different video than I usually make. Literally no editing, and I just like shot this. So Thanks, guys. Bye.